Hi, welcome to Driving TV and I hope you are well. In this video, I'd like to talk to you about when to steer when you are making a turn going left and going right at the junction. Also, after you've made the turn, when should you take the wheel back? Many learners, they get confused when to steer at the junction when they are going left and going right. Also, after you've made the turn, when should you take the wheel back? First, I will explain with a diagram so that you know exactly when you should do the steering at the junction, also when to take the wheel back, and then I will show you how it's done in practice on the road. Let's start the lesson.
Turning point at junctions and then taking the wheel back after you've made the turning. Now every corner is different, every junction is different, so you cannot have one reference points for every single junction because every junction will have different corners or different turnings. As you can see here, going left from there to there, it has a sharp corner, this has a long corner, so this is going left from a major road into a minor road, and this is going left and right from minor to a major, and same here. And as you can see, every junction has different turning points. So for you to know at which point you need to do the turning is at when the curve bends. So in this one, it bends here, and that's a sharp one. And on this one, it bends here, and it's a long one. And the steering cannot be the same for both. So for this one, you will be driving until you see this corner on the left corner of your dashboard in the corner of your car, and that's when you start steering. And you have to do the steering quite quickly because it's quite sharp. But if you were on this one, you can't steer here because that'll be too late. You need to steer from here because that's when the curve bends, and then gradually you steer and you go round. Because on this one you have to do it slowly, and on this one you have to do it quickly, and on this one you do it at this point, and on this one you start at this point because this is when the curve starts to bend. If you don't, you'll end up going like that. When the curve is bending from here, you should be going like that. When you're going to the end of the road, same. If it's a sharp one, you go to the end, keeping the car straight, and at this point here you start steering. And for this one, you have to start steering from here because you don't want to end up going there and then do that. You have to go with the curve, the way the curve is going, and then if this is the end, look if it's safe, and then you go. So if this junction had cars on the main road, you don't go straight and stop. You need to go steer with the pavement or with the curve and stop here and then make your turn. When this one, you keep it straight because the curve is straight, and here you start steering. So the main point I'm trying to highlight here is the point that you start steering will depend on the corner or the curve of the pavement. If it's sharp, you keep it straight and do it at where the sharp point is. And if it bends, you do it when the curve starts to bend. Now let's see when we go right, what is the reference point. So if you were going right from here to there, you looked at the mirrors, you've done the position, and your position is going to be close to the center. And the point is when roughly your car is around in line with the center line, in line. And from your sitting, where you are sitting, you will see your side mirror is in line with that. That's what you're going to see. When the front of your car is in line, you will see the right side of your mirror is in line with the center. That's what you're going to see from sitting, your sitting position. You'll see the right side mirror is in line, and that's when you start steering. And when you go to the end and to go right, if it's sharp, keep it straight and don't steer until you reach the halfway, and then you steer. Don't steer here. You need to go to your side and then steer. So keep it straight until halfway, then start steering. If there's somebody here, maybe a car or bus, then do it a bit early. Otherwise, you should be go to halfway and then you make the turn. Now let's talk about when you should take the wheel back after you've made the turn. So for example, just say you were going from there to there. You keep the car straight and you start steering from here. And then when you've done the steering, the car will start going. When the car goes in, make sure you know when you should start taking the wheel back. Because if you wait until the car is dead straight, by the time you take the wheel back, the car is going to end up going to the pavement, and then it's going to do that. So what you need to do is do the steering And as the car goes in, when the car is nearly straight, start taking the wheel back slowly. And as you take the wheel back, car goes slowly, and when the car is fully straight, you take the wheel fully straight. So don't wait until the car is fully straight until you take the wheel back. You must start taking the wheel back a bit early. So when the car is nearly straight, start taking the wheel back, and by the time the car is straight, your wheel is going to be straight. Many students, in the beginning, the mistake they make is they wait until the car is fully straight, and that's when they start to take the wheel back. And this is wrong, because by the time you take the wheel back, you're going to end up going to the pavement. So what you need to do is start taking the wheel back just before the car is nearly straight, and then start taking the wheel back, and by the time the car is straight, your wheel is going to be straight. And that's the point.
Now here we will turn next road on the right, top and right mirror, signal right, and then we will wait for the road that we want to go in when the center line of the road that we're going in is in line with our side mirror. So as you can see now, our side mirror is in line with the center, the road that we want to go in. That's when we start steering. And then we need to straighten up. When do we do it? Just before the car is straight. Around here, we start steering. Okay, it's nearly straight, so we start steering to get the car straight. At the end of this road, we will be turning right, top and right mirror, signal right, and then we will see if it's safe. If it is, we will end up on our side of the road before we do any steering. Here, we don't want to steer too early. We want to go to our side, which means we will steer when we reach our side of the road. That's when we steer. At the end of this road, we will be turning left, which means top and left mirror, signal left, and then we need to decide what type of corner it is. As you can see, this one, it's a sharp corner, which means we keep our car straight, because if you steer too early, we will end up hitting the pavement. So keep it straight. When it's safe, we make the turn, and then we need to think of steering. We take the wheel back around here, just before the car fully straight. We start taking the wheel back. At the end of this road, we will be turning left, top and left mirror, signal left, and then this one is a long corner, which means we need to steer around here. We steer now because it's long. Obviously this one is a stop line, so we stop first, and then we will steer when it's safe to do so. So now it's safe, we go, we make the turn, and just before the car fully straight, we take the wheel back. When is that? Around here. Can you see? Nearly straight, you start taking the wheel back. By the time the car is straight, wheel should be straight. So when should you steer? When turning left and right. Also, after the turning, when should you straighten the wheel? Simply, you steer when the turning starts. Your steering will depend on how sharp and how long the corner is. Basically, you steer when the turning starts. After the turning, when should you straighten the wheel? Many learners, they make the mistake of waiting until the car is fully straight. You start taking the wheel back to straighten is when the car is nearly straight. By the time the car is straight, wheel will be straight. So you start to steer slightly before car is fully straight. Okay, that's it for this video, and I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, please do give a thumbs up, and please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos, and hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.